And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at a little story, which I think is an example of unreasonable faith, and it's about walking on water. And because I think walking on water is unreasonable. So let's go read this story, if we would. And so we are in Matthew chapter 14. You all know the story. Let me just set it up just for a moment. Jesus is actually on the shore, and he sends his disciples out into the sea, and they go out. Now remember, they're fishermen. They're used to the sea. They go out into the sea, and they're out all night long. From the first watch to the fourth watch, so they were out there at least 8 hours, out there rowing in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the night, in the middle of a storm, and they were going down and they were perishing. And that's where we're picking up this story. And Jesus had remained on the shore. And so here's the story. It says, now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. He had to get there somehow. They took the boat. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it's a ghost. And they cried out for fear. Say, cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid. Say, do not be afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. So he said, come. And then Peter came down out of the boat. He walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind was boisterous, he was afraid. Say, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt? And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Now, here's where I want to begin with this story. I think that walking on the water, given the timing of the situation, was an unreasonable request. These guys had been struggling all night in the storm. They were fearing for their lives. That's what it said. They were fearing for their lives. They thought they were going down. They were grossly afraid. Jesus walks up to them, and the first thing that pops into impetuous Peter's mind is, I wonder if I could walk on water. Jesus is walking on water. And don't you think this is a little bit unreasonable and really kind of out of sync with the rest of the story? It didn't, for what purpose? For what purpose was he going to walk on water? Jesus can walk on water. I think I would like to do that. And he said, hey, if that's you, bid me to come. Jesus says, come. And he goes and he walks on the water. Now, just to sort of underscore how unreasonable this is, how many people in history do we know of that have ever walked on water? How many? Well, it's not none, because I'm reading some right here. How many? How many? Yeah, two. This is not too complicated, people. Come on, track with me. It's two people. It's Peter and Jesus. They're the only two that's ever done it.